This is one of those movies that I think your appreciation of it depends on how you watch it. Standalone or one after another like I have. What's going on, people? Alex Thorn here, and I'm just a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And while we're on this deep dive of Alien, 1, 2, and 3 are all available on this channel, along with the new live watch-alongs that I've been doing. Thank you for joining me, by the way. And now we've landed on Alien Resurrection. I've got to tell you, I did not have high hopes for this movie. Not only did I not have high hopes for this movie, but apparently I owned this movie on VHS in the past. Never watched it. If I did, I have no recollection. So even watching it now with you guys all together, I still don't remember anything about it. So to me, that's a first time watch, and I am delighted. Let's get into it. The saga continues 200 years after Ripley sacrificed herself for the sake of humanity. This time, it's the military that resurrects the one-woman killing machine through genetic cloning to extract the alien from within her. But during the process, her DNA is fused with the Queen, and then the aliens escape. Now Ripley must decide where her allegiance lies. So we've gotten to the point in this series to where, like in the last one, I was like, how in the world is she impregnated with a queen alien? Which I still don't know. If one of you guys do, please let me know down below. But now she's gone. Spoiler alert, she's gone from part 3. She's being cloned because they want the queen that she died with at the end of part 3. Right off the bat, I want to make mention of the fact that this has a very good cast. Unlike part 3, where, by the way, in this review, I'm going to constantly refer to like part 3 because I just got done reviewing it and I'm so shocked at how different the tones are, considering all 4 of these movies have 4 different directors. But the one thing that you take away from part 2 is how great the cast is and how fun and unique the Marines are in part 2. Then you get to part 3 and you have these blank slate of annoying prisoners, all outside of one actor, the gentleman who played Rock, who goes all the way to the end and ends up sacrificing himself and so forth. And then you get to this. And while all of these characters, all of these Marines in this movie, or renegades, or whatever you want to call them, are very quirky. They all have certain things about them that you can pick, like action figures that they do and habits that they have. At least they have that. At least they have something. The one thing about this movie that sticks out right away to me is how it brought back a lot of the fun elements that I liked about part 2. Again, this series, it's interesting because the last time I felt this within a series where there was no succession of movies that I liked was The Omen, where it just felt like, oh, boom, run. It's the same thing here. Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection. Like, it's a very much a roller coaster ride. And that brings me to the roller coaster feeling I have with Sigourney Weaver and the character of Ripley. Like, I was really over the stone-faced portrayal of Ripley that Sigourney Weaver has done through 1, 2, and 3. In 1, I felt that she was perfect for her role. Even had a little gleam of light in her. She's very young there. In 2, it's kind of more of the same, but concerned throughout the whole thing because she's been, you know, defrosted or whatever from her pod, woken up, and she's very scared. 3, again, it's more of like, and then she's bald in part 3, which is like, you know, it's jarring already. But I'm like, why do we need her back? And she passed away. She's gone at the end of part 3. So like, how is she back here? Obviously, like I said in the synopsis, she's a clone. But more importantly, how is she played? Because I was tired of Ripley. Well, good news is, if you haven't seen this movie, Ripley, the portrayal by Sigourney Weaver, to me, this is the best she has played Ripley since part 1. But I feel like Sigourney Weaver is alive in this, even though she's not even playing a human. That's right, in this entry, she's a clone, so therefore she is not a human being, but yet she expresses, in my opinion, more than she did when she was a human. There's a lot of sexual tension between her and the entire cast. There's a lot of flirtatiousness with her in this. I mean, I feel like part 1, 2, and 3 just forgot that she's a woman, that she does have some type of femininity. I get that she's strong, but at the end of the day, you know, along with Sigourney Weaver, you have Winona Ryder. And I know Winona Ryder from Beetlejuice, and of course I know she went on to have a hugely and continues to have a successful career in acting. She's never been my cup of tea, and she's never been my cup of tea for this very reason that I'm about to say in this movie. I think she is the weakest link of this movie in terms of actors. She just does not seem present. Joining the 2 female leads is Ron Perlman, and Ron Perlman is Ron Perlman. I don't know. I've read blurbs, reviews. By the way, I'm on Letterboxd, so follow me there. But I've read reviews on Letterboxd that he was over the top in this. To me, Ron Perlman is pretty much the same in almost every movie. He's the same here. The story is copy and paste. You got to remember, we're in the 4th entry of this series. It's always going to be Ripley and a team of disposable Marines getting picked off by aliens. And that's exactly what happens here. And mind you, I said aliens because unlike Alien 3, there's more than one alien. Thank God. We are on part 4. Just like in part 3, there should have been more than one. There are definitely a lot of aliens here, and they get a lot of screen time early on. I'm talking about 20 minutes in, you're getting full-fledged scenes of aliens. And this is what I'm used to be honest with you, because for the last 20 years of my life, 30 years, let's say, I've been watching Aliens and AVP. Those are my 2 biggest experiences when it comes to aliens. So I'm used to movies that just throw aliens in your face. So going back and just going to one alien, which wasn't even an impressive alien in the least bit, pissed me off. But here we go, fully showing and fully throwing aliens at you. At like 20 minutes, you get to see them. And by 37 minutes, stuff kicks off, and it kicks off big. The CGI that I complained about in part 3 is still present here, but it's not abysmal, and they do not linger on it for a long time like they did in the previous entry. When it's here, they make sure that it looks like it's there and it makes sense, and they cut away from it really quickly. So the CGI is much better in this one too. Now to the part of this review where I think this is where the forgetfulness and the laughter of this movie comes from, and that is the brand new newborn baby alien. And it looks like shit. This newborn this newborn alien baby human has got to be one of the most ridiculous designs that I've definitely ever seen in an alien movie. And then they decided to give it titties. And this newborn baby has this uncomfortable look of trying to get you to have sympathy for it. Like, it looks sad. But when it looks sad, it looks stupid. What are we doing here? Every time it was on the screen, which thankfully it's only on screen for about the last 15 minutes of the movie, it's laughable. It's terrible. It's what brings I think, this movie down. It's what made people want to forget about this movie. It's why this entry does not get talked about. It's solely the last 15 minutes of this movie. I had no idea that this movie even had a queen in it, and she's in it so briefly. So briefly. I'm talking about like maybe 1 minute before her whole face gets taken off by this brand new newborn alien. You know what this thing reminded me of? A very poorly executed Pumpkinhead. Guys, with all that being said, I think we should find out if Alien Resurrection holds up in 2024. And as far as acting goes, I'm going to give this 3 bandanas out of 5. There's a lot of overacting, there's a lot of cliches, but it is 1997 and we are in the 4th entry of this series. As far as effects go, there's a lot more practical effects in this, so I'm going to give this 4 bandanas out of 5. And as far as story goes, I'm going to give it a 2 bandana out of 5 because it really doesn't deserve to be made, but it was made and is the best version of Ripley that I can come up with. At the end of the day, does Resurrection hold up? I would say yes, but it depends how you watch this movie. If you watch it as a standalone movie, I think you will be agitated with it and it's very forgettable. If you watch it after the disappointing, theatrical, mind you, version of Alien 3 that I watched, I think it uplifts you and you say, hey, you know what, that wasn't bad. But that's because Alien 3, the theatrical cut, was such a low bar after Aliens. So for me, it does hold up. It just depends on where and how you watch it. Guys, if you like this content and want more from me and even want these videos early and want to go back in time and have your own membership card like the good old days, you got to join this channel's memberships. There's 2 tiers, Plus and Ultimate, and this is your way of helping and letting me know that I'm doing something good with my life here outside of making rock music. This is my way to unwind, relax, and keep me at bay so I don't go off and do stuff that I don't want to do. And not only that, but honestly, it's fun and I would love this to be a full-time gig at some point because let's be honest, who does not like to watch movies and then have their own personal group of people who like the same movies with them? So consider joining this channel's memberships. You not only get the things I mentioned to you before, but you get to request your own reviews, you get exclusive lives, early access to videos, polls that help shape the future of this channel, and more. And if you don't feel like committing to that, you can always leave a super chat, super thanks, or head over to Buy Me a Coffee. That is your one-stop shop to letting me know and leaving me a note of how I have helped you enjoy anything or what you appreciate about what I'm doing. And in their latest update, I can respond directly back to you with a video letting you know how thankful I am for you fueling this journey with another cup of coffee. Beyond all that, guys, if you want to follow me in another place and see the movies that I'm watching, but read about it and be friends, head over to Letterboxd. I just found out about that through Haunted Hippie, who is another movie reviewer right here on YouTube. And I love her content. I started watching her a few years ago and she gave me a lot of inspiration and confidence to do this channel myself. So watch her channel, head over to Letterboxd, befriend me, check out my reviews there, and be on the lookout for my latest single, She Owns the Night, which is in the works right now. And then right after that, there's another one too. Guys, I'm Alex Thorn, and you know what I gotta do. I gotta rock out, watch AVP, review it for you, and come back and enjoy some more aliens.